All right, in this video, we're going to go over the Eve method. And the Eve method is a method that will drastically increase your productivity. So Eve stands for explore versus exploit. And this is really built off of the fact that most of the time we do things the same way, right? When you're taught a process at work, you typically only ever do it that way. It's very rare that you maybe experiment to find some other way of getting it done. Whereas the Eve method enables you to experiment in order to find the fastest way to get it done. It's like a systematized experimental structure that will allow you to uncover the fastest way to get done or to get that task done. And I know that probably sounds, a little, difficult to understand, but it'll make a lot more sense when I can actually just show you. So here's our example process. We have a weekly report. The process is to download the data from different sources, to organize the data in a template or whatever it is, and then we email out the report. Now, this is how the Eve method works. So exploit stands for doing the task the way that you've always done it. And explore stands for experimenting, right? You're exploring different options, you're trying different things. So with our report, right, we just outlined the process there. That process, the way that we've been shown, is our exploiting, right? We're doing it the exact same way we've always done it. But we always want to allocate a little bit time over here to this explore side where we're running different experiments. So, maybe 70% of the time we're doing this process the normal way, the way we've been taught, but then maybe 30% of the time we're taking some time and we're experimenting, we're trying new ways of getting it done. And so here are a couple of different experiments that we're going to run on that process. Right, experiment one, we're going to try to download the data in a different order. We're also going to try a new formula, and then we'll also try to implement a macro in there and see if that makes the process better. And what will happen is over time, not every single experiment that you come up with will increase the effectiveness of the actual process, but maybe one of the three experiments that you've run in here actually made the process better, actually made it faster. So then what happens is that experiment should get added into your exploit process, where that's now what you're doing every single time. Right, so you tried out these three. This new macro actually saved you quite a bit of time. So that is now how you're going to be doing it moving forward. And then, with every single time that you come up with a faster way, you're going to there'll be less and less to experiment. So this experiment section kind of gets smaller and smaller, right? The more you experiment on it, the less experiments there are to run. And so your exploit over here is going to get larger and larger. And then what happens is, again, you allocate a little bit more time to a couple of other experiments, and eventually one of those experiments will make your exploit function or your process that much better, until it is that much of a stronger process. And so what happens is when you apply this Eve method to your tasks, or to specifically to the tasks that take up the most time, you'll eventually find the best and fastest way to get something done. Right, when it comes to report, you'll experiment with macros, you'll experiment with formulas, with templates, reordering things, and all those little things. And you just slowly improve your process over time, and it gets faster and faster and faster until you have an extremely strong process. It's very simple, but it's extremely powerful when applied to the right tasks. This has enabled me to get work done, 5 to 10 times faster as everyone else, because a lot of people, again, they only do it the way that they're taught, and they don't have any experimentation to improve and evolve their process. So that is the Eve method. I highly recommend that you eventually apply it to, everything at work, everything in your life. But just to start out with at work, I would definitely apply it to the tasks that take up the majority of your time. Applying the Eve method to those will drastically increase your productivity and will make you extremely valuable to your department.